Hello, I have something to talk about, and I think I should introduce myself first. I am an engineer that builds operational systems for companies. 6 months ago, I've quit my 8 to 6 job, and 2 weeks ago, I got my first client, and now I am in the process of hiring my first employee. So, what I'm gonna talk about? I'm gonna talk about scarcity. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it right, by the way, but I am gonna read the dictionary meaning of it. It's a meaning from Cambridge Dictionary. A situation which something it is not easy to find or get. So I'm gonna talk about being in scarcity and deciding while being in scarcity. So I'm gonna tell you a story first. When I was in the beginning of my journey, I'm still beginning of my journey, by the way, but I'll say I think 3 months ago, I was in a big event as a startup founder invited, and I was it was an event that everybody was pitching themselves their idea. Every startup owner founder was pitching each other their ideas, but there was no customers actually, but they were always doing like a sales pitch. It was those kind of events, and I was also just telling I didn't had a perfect road to go, so I was just telling about what I'm building. I had like a 3 or 4 products that I've built, and in the real systems, by the way, in the real environments, and I was just telling about them, telling everyone about them. And then there was a guy who defines himself as a startup incubator. I didn't know the term before, but I know the incubators, but I didn't know that there exists in Turkey, in Istanbul. I didn't know that. And then he told me that, all right, we can find everything, we can do everything, but we cannot find you. He was just in that position. He was just saying we have the technology, we have the ideas, but we don't have you. You are important for us. We need you. He was in those kind of mood, and I was like, oh my god, are you need me? Am I that important? Really? I was just feeling that feeling in my belly, because it was my first stepping out to the world as a founder, because I was just a builder at my home on my desk. And he know about all, by the way. He's just like a genius. Anyway, and then he told me about that, we have a different ways of doing things. We have a 3 or 4 options. We can do that, and then okay, I'll be more open right now. He was just one option was we will find a product that you're gonna build, and or we have a really important person in our company, and our CPO will help you to build that, to decide that what you are gonna build, and you're gonna build that, and you're gonna reach out to customers. We're gonna teach you, by the way, don't worry, but you're gonna reach out to customers, you're gonna find customers, and you're gonna sell the product. Okay, you've built it, you've sold, and we're gonna teach you how to do it, and we're gonna take the 50% of it. I was like, all right. By the way, when I first heard it, yeah, after that event, I was so happy because I felt special. Maybe he didn't told this to everyone because they were already like building something, they were already decided, and many of them had teams. And I was so happy, but I was also confused because like giving 50%, then at home I've started thinking about it. What am I gonna get? Actually, what am I gonna get? Like, if in shopping, like this is an exchange, right? This should be an exchange. You're gonna get something and you're gonna give something. And it should be almost equal, okay? It's not always so fairly equal, but it should be almost equal. And I was like, always, okay. And we had a meeting, and I know that when I get into that meeting, I was already decided to say no, but I was hoping to get any sign from him to make me yes, or any sign from him that confirms my no. And he was so helpful on that. I've made a pitch to him, but he was already so like a no, it's it's not okay, you cannot do this, you cannot do this, it's not like that. He was so like a negative and manipulative. He was a shark, so I knew that. And I asked him very clearly, what am I gonna get? And he told me that you're gonna get our know-how of him and know-how of CPO. And he told me that he has a genius innovator of something and know-how of him. And if I were a builder that decides on scarcity, and I would have said yes. If I didn't believe that I cannot do this on my own or with any other agreement, any other fair agreement, I would have said yes, because the timing was perfect for him. I didn't had any client conversation. I didn't decide on a product yet. So I would have said yes. But I told myself, I don't have to do it right now. I still have time. I still have a roof on my head, and I still have food on the table. So I don't have to go out and fun, maybe spend a lot, or like go on a vacation or something. I don't have to do that. I can live as long as I can be in a minimum viable product of my life. Like I can have food on the table and I have a roof on my head, then it's okay. I don't have to give 50% of my future. Even if I'm gonna exit in the future, maybe I don't want to spend 2 to 3 years of my life trying to exit from him, maybe because he's not a person that I want to work with. I think he is worse than my previous colleagues. So who you are gonna work with is a really important decision. And deciding on that you're gonna work with a shark that tries to manipulate you, and because you're young and because you don't know yet, you don't have know-how of him, You don't have to give him 50% of your company. And I know that know-how is important in some sense, but if we are in an AI, we are in an AI world, right? If you know how to ask politely, you'll get the answers. And there are some mentors, free mentors out there. They're gonna teach you, or there are people on the YouTube that will tell you how to do things. And sometimes you can reach out to them to ask, and surprisingly, they're gonna answer. And I met some more valuable, I'm not gonna say more valuable, that's a rude thing to say, but more talented person on the way to ask about things. So it's not a direct mentor, but I know that I can ask him. So I said no politely. I know that there are people will give you more for less percent, and there are people just will help you out of politeness. So that's all. Just make sure that you are not deciding anything on scarcity. That's a really unhealthy way to decide anything. So that was on my mind today. Bye.